When we talk about place-based learning, we are talking about situating students' education within the particular location that they're at. That means students have a really in-depth understanding of the history of this place, the peoples of this place, their connections to it, and then most importantly, kind of a underlying emphasis that these peoples are still here.
Many people either arrive at or reside in place without having a very comprehensive understanding of what that means. And one of the things that we want to provide the students with is a more comprehensive understanding. So they not only have a greater connection with this place, Humboldt County, its cultural presences and histories, but also all the places that they'll reside in when they go into the future.
Place-based learning to me is building relationships of respect and reciprocity with the communities that are native to a place. It's about learning how to be in community as well and have accountability to the places that you are in, because otherwise we run the risk of reproducing extractive models of learning.
Arts and humanities and social sciences have long been shaped by Eurocentric preoccupations. I'd say the time is nigh to start studying with Indigenous thinkers and scholars and elevating Indigenous theories and systems of knowledge in terms of philosophy and art and theory and science. Anthropologists now really have an opportunity to engage and learn from our Indigenous colleagues.
What can the world look like if we all become people that really think about the long-term impacts of what we're doing here and then how we live in a way that everyone can drink the water and everyone can breathe the air and everyone can eat the food? Academia has a responsibility to sort of say, those things we can fix together. We can actually do something about it. But that's not going to come if what we're more concerned about is upholding the centrality and power of an academic institution. So academic institutions need to do the hard work to think about what does it mean to decenter the institution and instead recenter what it looks like to empower peoples and communities.
Many folks see the connection between Indigenous knowledge, specifically traditional ecological knowledge, with the environmental sciences. And that makes sense because our ancestors were brilliant ecologists. But for a lot of folks, I think it ends there. And so what I want to express is that Indigenous knowledge is relevant to every field of study, not solely the environmental sciences or the environmental studies.
Indigenous knowledge systems are very diverse. They are economic systems, they are governance systems that provide alternatives to the current models. And also it's about learning the way that places are connected to other places. So we may be studying in Humboldt, but what you're studying here is also relating to where you're from in LA or even South America.
It makes sense to make sure that students have a certain awareness about what it means to be Indigenous, but also understand the experiences of other communities in the world. It contributes to the creation of what we like to call global citizens.
What I like to tell students is no matter what discipline you are in, no matter what you envision for your major or your minor at this school, Indigenous knowledge has something to contribute to that. Whether it's philosophy, law, business, language, literature.
I constantly remind my students what a privilege it is to be able to learn directly from Indigenous scholars here, and the opportunities to learn different knowledge systems, the histories of settler colonialism and westward expansion, and understanding local ecologies from Indigenous perspectives. To be able to offer this to our undergraduates, I see it as part of a broader project of decolonization that has to take place here.
What does it mean to sort of come in and say we're going to build powerful experiences for students that model for them the types of relationships that actually empower cross-cultural, international learning?
When we talk about place-based learning, we're talking about forming relationships with the peoples of this place based on compassion, based on kind of a common sense of community, rather than one of extraction and competition.
Students come to college because they're going to become producers in the market, right? And we want to make sure that there are people who are aware, who are conscious of the place and time we are,
When students start making those connections in the classroom and as they're learning from and alongside the Indigenous communities here, they graduate prepared to tackle these problems in society because, it's not just happening here, it's happening everywhere.